Guys, what's up? It's me Vendrus and welcome to patch rundown of 5.4 in League of Legends. Now this is for those of you who don't have the time or will to read all of the patch notes, so here's everything you need to know in 5 minutes or less. Before we start, I just want to give props to Quiff and Scarizard for writing this amazing post, as it is full of jokes and it's amazing to read. Now let's just begin. In the introduction, it is said that a 120 IP item is coming, but for now, for those characters which were damaged the most, which is Mordekaiser and Veigar, after the removal of Deathfire's Gasp, there are some changes. Also, the other mages have performed relatively fine and weren't that damaged from the removal of the item. Now for Zir, there was a bug fix in the passive where sometimes the turret, when it was killed, it was counted as a turret kill in spectators mode or LCS. For Janna, there's a bit of difference in the movement speed she gives, as most of it is given by her W, so it's personal, only she has it, and when she uses the W she loses a large chunk of her movement speed. Now also, teammates when running towards her gain a bit of movement speed buff. Now for Jarvan the Fourth, the E doesn't give passively armor, and that gives him a bit more base armor to tune that change up. It is for having a bit of a weak side when he fails a gank. Now there is a bit of a bug fix in the queue when it randomly knocked up some people when walked over Jarvan the Fourth. Now for Kalista, there's a bit of a there's a bit of a fix in the passive, when the idea was that she will have a longer animation for her auto attack, so she cannot cancel it due to her passive. Now when she fires up an attack, it now speeds up not with 100 of her attack speed, but rather with 66% of her attack speed. For Kassadin, there's a big change. The range of the R which is Riftwalk, is reduced to 450, which may seem shocking. We'll see how that goes. And also the cost is lowered with 15 mana, but bear in mind that this is stacking, so when in the several later Riftwalks, for example the third and the fourth, they will have majorly lower mana cost. We'll see how this goes. For Katarina, her passive only procs if she has damaged a champion within the 3 seconds of within the 3 seconds before they die. For Lissandra, there was a bug fix when sometimes the glacial path, which is the E, didn't show in the terrain, so it had some invisible ganks. For Mordekaiser, they wanted a healthy update, which is to improve the design, but that didn't work out yet. Their work is still working on it. So here are some of the changes. The base health regeneration is fixed. It is much lower. The Q has more range when you're attacking, and the Q and the W cost less health. The W also gives, like Nunu's W, if he uses it on an ally, it gives him and the ally the W. Now also, when running towards each other, the Mordekaiser and his ally have more movement speed. Also, it has a bit less of damage, but also the cost, as I said, is a bit lower too. Now the R has some big changes. It doesn't give anymore 20% of the attack damage and the ability power of Mordekaiser. It rather gives 25% of the bonus health and 30% of the ability power. Also, the Shadows no longer have 75% of Mordekaiser's ability power. Also, they do not get 75% of his AD, rather have 25, 50 or 100 attack damage bonus. For Rengar is just a different thing where the trinket collections, where you can see all the stacks and how much he has, are not in the trinket itself, but rather in a buff. This is for ARAM, so he can use a trinket to feed the Poros. Now for Syndra, it is a bit weird, but the idea is that the E will work better, it will be a bit wider. For Veigar, there's a lot of changes. His Q is a skill shot like Lux, which when it hits one target, it will go to another. It will have more range, and it will have a bit different cooldown, as you can see. Now the W has less cost and less cooldown, so it's only a buff. The E is a bit different. It has lesser cost, lesser cooldown, and bigger range, but it has 0.75 seconds delay before appearing, which can be a bit of a hurt. For the R, it has a bit less ability power ratio, but it has less cost and less cooldown. For Zeroth, the E maximum stun duration is lowered by 0.5 seconds. Zilean is also made a bit different. The base armor is lower, the attack range is lower, and there's a lot of new stuff for him. The icons are new, the attacks are new, and most of the spells look different. The Q is no longer on click, it's rather a lobbed skill shot with a fixed travel time. It sticks to a target, whether it is an ally or an enemy, if it comes near it. If it doesn't, it will just automatically set off and explode. Also, if he has two bombs on the same target, the first bomb will detonate immediately as before, but now it will stun somebody for 1.5 seconds. The time bomb delay is 3 seconds and the range is increased. Also the cooldown is lower and also the cost is a bit different. Now the W just removes it no longer reduces the cooldown of the R. With the E, it is a lower duration, but the slow amount can go up to 99% in the late game. Now the cooldown is lower, the cost is lower, and the range is a bit weird. It's a bit different, but it's generally a 75 range reduction. The R has a lower duration and the cooldown is much less due to the change in the W. The spell shields are a bit different now. On-hit abilities like, for example, Ezreal or Gangplank's Q work with spell shields too. Now they updated the splashes of Katarina and Tristana. Here is the old Katarina splash art and this is the new one. This is Tristana's old splash art, the updated splash art, and this is the one which is right now. Moving on, the jungle items have changed a bit. You know they had that ability you could change the jungle item you have for free. Now if you change between tier 2 jungle items, it costs 255 gold. Sweeping lens also is a big bug fix in the tooltip, where it said it has 75 seconds cooldown, but it's rather 60 seconds. For Doran's shield is just a bug fix where it sometimes didn't block the 8 single target spell damage. For warrior, the attack damage is a bit lower because they try to make this not the most valuable item enchantment, because right now it's super strong. For Zizirod Portal, it is a bit different. It's Martyr, as the portal void spawns are a bit more intelligent, and the void gates will automatically rescan for a spawn direction. For the Smite, it's a bit different. The range is a bit shorter for champions, but it's still the same for jungle items. Also, the revive spell got removed from the game. Relative team colors, this is a change where it's automatically enabled by default. It's your team will always be blue and the other will be red, no matter if you're in the south or north part of the map. You can click this out and disable it if you wish. The minions are a bit different. They have a bit new 4 new different animations based on how they die. In-game camera options, there is this new semi-locked camera option where it's locked. Your champion will always be on the map, on your screen, but if you're moving with the mouse, it will move where your champion is on the map. Now they added a new drag scroll lock, which is unbound by default, and you can see how it goes. It is a bit different, a bit weird, and it's basically for spectators mode. The player 2 tips have improved. It is when you're hovering over a friend of yours, it now gives not only that he's playing and the champion he's playing, but it's saying what he's playing. For example, Summoner's Rift, and whether it's ranked or normal. Also, you can hover your own tooltip to see the things you want. Now there were some bug fixes, and last but not least, DJ Sona is released, so you will have a bit better music in the games. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you understood everything. If you didn't, you can comment everything. And if you liked this video and was helpful, please like and subscribe. Largest non-ultimate AoE stun in the game. Largest non-ultimate AoE stun in the game. Largest non-ultimate stun in the game. Largest non-ultimate. Okay, they win. Bye bye.